Hey y'all, it's Ray. I'm so grateful that you're back. Thank you, for real. Now, before we get into this video, if you haven't looked at the title yet, just know that this video is going to be a recap of episode 5, season 5 of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. So, needless to say, this is a spoiler alert. This is your final warning before we get into it. Now, season 5, episode 5 of Raising Kanan pretty much starts off where episode 4 ended. We had episode 4 ending with Marvin getting a box at the club. The club contained the bloody cowboy hat, one of the hitters that they sent to kill Stefano. So boom, we already know the hit failed miserably. So when season 5 picks up, you got Marv, you got Rock, and Marv is anxious. Listen, this cat ain't dead. He's gonna come after us, while Rock is a total opposite. She's like, look, all we gotta do is say we ain't do it. You go talk to Flossie. She like you. So you go talk to her, okay? And I'm gonna go smooth everything out with everybody else. Meanwhile, you see Stefano meeting with Breeze and meeting with Kanan separately. Now, when he meets with Kanan, he's like, look, dog, your mom tried to kill me. She gotta go, point blank. You know what I'm saying? Kanan's like, do what you gotta do. Like, I don't care. You know? Now, when he meets with Breeze, he's pretty much telling Breeze, like, listen, she gotta go. This is what I need you to do. So he pretty much tells Breeze, look, disrupt Rock's work. Whatever she got going on, dead it. So of course Breeze does follow through with that plan, but we're gonna get to that in a minute. We also have, like I told you, Rock going on a tour of damage control. She goes to meet with Pino Bernardi. She goes to meet with Joaquin. She pretty much plays dumb with Pino. Like, I don't know what happened. We ain't try to kill Stefano. Of course, Pino goes along with it because she making him a lot of money, and he don't really like Stefano anyway. But it's kind of a different story when she goes to meet with Joaquin. She don't even fake like she didn't put a hit out on Stefano. It's a totally different conversation. And Joaquin is pretty much like, you need to tighten up. Like, you bad for business right now. Okay. We also see Marvin ends up meeting with his little niece. Remember, the guy that he met in group ended up ODing and dying, and Marvin is looking after his nieces from afar. He done killed one of the families because they was abusing the nieces, so he meets with her now. This is a part of the Power universe that doesn't make sense, because how can this man that has no relation to the family, maybe he does, maybe he got some sort of visitation, but it's just weird that they just casually at the ice cream shop have an ice cream shop. But anyway, the conversation is Uncle Marvin, they're still asking about, the man who killed that family. And they don't believe me when I'm telling them that it was a white guy with tattoos, and they're threatening to take me away from this new family that we're with, and we really like them. Marvin like, oh no, baby, that's okay. Just keep telling them that they lying. They just trying to scare you. They ain't gonna take you away from that family. Stick to your story. It was a white man with tattoos. So that's that. Marvin then ends up meeting up with Flossie. Pretty much telling Flossie, hey, listen, don't worry about our work. Our work is good. Our work is working, okay? That judge was a fiend. He did too much, and that's why he died. But their conversation kind of also goes into him asking again about Flossie's daughter. Flossie pretty much tells him, the tragedy of what happened with her daughter dying, and that was her daughter ended up with a rich guy. The guy was an alcoholic. They got into a really bad accident. Her daughter died. The guy walked away with scratches, but Flossie got her little street justice on the back end because the boy walked away not only unscathed but unprocessed. His dad was rich, got him out of that trouble. He didn't really get any type of punishment for Flossie's daughter dying in a drunk driving accident. So they talk about that. She also tells, no, he also inquires, about bar mitzvah. And of course, he's pronouncing it wrong. And she's like, you're really interested in Judaism, Marvin. Why don't you come to the synagogue someday? And he's like, okay. So we've kind of seen Marvin talking to the pastor a little bit in season 5 as well. So it seems like Marvin is trying to explore his spirituality. He really, really connects with people who stand for something and believe in something. So he seems like he's trying to explore his spirituality more. Now, Kanan ends up out. I don't know if you guys remember, Neek had met with a Pill Connect, maybe last episode before last, and the Pill Connect was pretty much telling them, hey, we giving you extra this, extra that, type of pill, whatever pills they got out on the streets. So I guess Breeze wasn't able to meet with the Pill Connect this time, and Kanan ended up meeting with the Pill Connect. So of course the Pill Connect is like, where's Breeze? Where's Taz? I don't know you. Kanan's trying to tell him like, Breeze sent me. So he wasn't going for it, which very realistic. Like, Breeze didn't call you and tell you, hey, I'm sending somebody else. If this was real life, no, I'm not serving you. I don't know you. But Breeze didn't take it well. He ends up showing up where Kanan and the Pill Connect is. Kanan and Breeze beat the brakes off of this man. I mean, the brakes. They stomped him all the way out. Then these cats went to the diner to have lunch. So they go to the diner to have lunch. They having this conversation. Breeze is talking more about Snaps and Pop. And did y'all know that Snaps is the guy and Pop is the lady? I've been lunching all this time, so I was this weekend years old when that kind of like came across, like, oh, Snaps is the guy. But anyway, Breeze was like, my mom, Snaps is my mom's brother, so that's how I'm related to them. And then they have a really, really deep love and respect for DEF CON, so that's why they hate your mom. He also let Kanan know that, hey, he didn't say this, but we already seen Snaps and Pop tell Breeze, hey, don't do that bullshit you was doing out in East New York, having side businesses and whatnot. But of course, Breeze being Breeze, and look, we kind of getting to know him, so I'm saying Breeze being Breeze. The pill business, Snaps and Pops don't have nothing to do with. So when they sitting at the diner, Breeze also lets Kanan know, hey, the pill business is mine. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna cut you in, so you could have some of that. So they connect on stomping the Pill Connect out, on sharing the pill connection money wise now, and the fact that neither one of them really cares for Rock or cares what happens to Rock. Breeze is pretty much like, we got to do something about your mom. So just know that we are going to do something about your mom, and just be ready to go when I'm ready to go. So we do end up seeing Kanan popping up later on. Kanan popping up at Breeze's house, and Breeze is like, all right, though, you ready? Here, grab this gun. We finna go. So they go, and what ends up happening is they go to where Joaquin is at, and they cut off Joaquin's water. So Breeze shoots him in the head. Kanan has no idea what's happening in the building other than he's out making a run, with Breeze. Breeze comes out. It's people shooting at the car. Kanan swerves off. And that's that. So now Rock, unknowingly, now her connect is gone because Breeze done shot Joaquin in the head. We also see Pino going and meeting back with Stefano, and pretty much saying, hey, Rock said she didn't try to kill you. I'm vouching for Rock. Pretty much, there was a moment in that conversation between Pino Bernardi and Stefano Marchetti that really kind of took me back to The Sopranos a little bit. Stefano was pretty much like, look, I know she tried to kill me. I don't care what you saying. I'm gonna get her. And if you got something to do with it, or if you want something to do with it, pretty much he was letting him know that you can get it too. And in that moment, Pino Bernardi stood up, and he looked just like Ralph Cifaretto. I don't know if y'all watched The Sopranos, but that nigga reminded me of Ralphie Cifaretto. And he let him know, like, pretty much, if you mess with Rock, you mess with me. Because he told Stefano, Rock don't work for me. She's working in Manhattan. So our relationship is more like a landlord-tenant relationship. I'm the landlord, she's the tenant. So when he got up after Stefano was pretty much like, I'm going to get her and you can get it too. If you sitting here talking about you want to vouch for her, he pretty much stood up and was like, anybody who messes with my tenants messes with me. So like, Stefano, I'm not scared of you, dog. Like whatever you got, bring it. That's pretty much what he was saying. But he does end up meeting back with Rock like, dog, this nigga knows that you tried to kill him. Like, what you gonna do? You need to do something. He pretty much questioned her motherhood. Like, what kind of mom are you? Like, you not looking at the fact that your son is in bed with the man that you tried to kill. She's like, dog, Kanan just learned to tie his shoes last week. I'm not thinking about Kanan. And Pino was like, you need to be thinking about Kanan. He's connected with he's connected with the boss, not a boss. He's connected with the boss. You need to be worried about your son. And again, he asked her, are you a good mom? Like, what's good with you? What's going on? One thing that I didn't say was we saw Juke couldn't scrounge up the money to pay Detective Garcia because she got this cat on the tape. So she had to end up pulling Marvin in to give this cat the rest of his money because Detective Garcia wasn't letting up. He like, look, you want to play big girl games, you got to pay like a big girl. So, excuse me, that kind of turned in a conversation with her and Marvin saying, Dad, if you don't give me some work, I'm going to go get it from somewhere else, and I'm going to be working, not just at your bar, but I'm going to be, getting this work off on the street. So now she working for Marvin. She got work. You kind of see Juke going around busting down her youngins with work. It's weird to me still, but just kind of seeing like, who Juke ends up being and everything like that. But now she is fully in the game. Just like Kanan, just like her aunt, just like her dad. So the whole Thomas family, everybody trapping. And now you also see, so they give Detective Garcia his money or whatever, and she's asking about Famous, and he's like, listen, I don't know about your friend, and I don't know what you think this is. You paying me, but like, I'm not going to be able to magically pull all the information that you or y'all need from me just because you paying me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it pretty much told her to lower her standards, but still give me. But that night, Garcia ends up out at the bar with a bunch of cops. You kind of see him and one cop have a conversation off to the side, and Garcia's asking about Famous, and he's pretty much like, look, wasn't nobody thinking about, this kid's case. It didn't come back up to the forefront, talking about Famous's case, until the FBI got involved and was trying to connect him. His real name was Sean. Famous real name was Sean Figueroa. Was trying to connect Figueroa to Howard, which Detective Howard, Kanan's dad, who Rock killed. So Garcia sat back and was like, oh, so that kind of showed Garcia pretty much coming to the conclusion that it was most likely Detective Howard who killed Famous. So then you kind of see, oh, another thing that I neglected to mention. You also see Jarita in bed a couple times with Kanan, and we know for all the original Power Watchers, we know that Jarita ends up being Kanan's baby mom because she was Sean's mom, who was a driver for Ghost. But that's Power. We're talking about raising Kanan, but I just kind of wanted to give some background. We kind of see them in bed a couple of times. The one time that they are in bed, he goes to give her money because, of course, she's one of Flossie's hoes. She's like, no, I don't want that to be us. I have a connection with you now. Let them know, look, I see you. I know what you're doing. But also I'm kind of, feeling you, and you don't need to pay me. I'm invested in you now. That's pretty much what she told him. So I guess this is kind of the beginning of, I guess, whatever we're going to see of their relationship unfolding, because he turned around and told her not to worry about anything, as long as, they have whatever connection that they have, that he's going to protect her. Now, in these final scenes, we see Juke going to knock on Kanan's door. She's rushing in. Kanan, okay, I got information on Famous. And he's like, you still worried about Famous? I'm off of that. And she's like, well, look, we got Detective Garcia in our pocket. And that stops him in his tracks, because he like, what? Not you, Juke. Look, we all know Juke ended up down the line in adulthood being a police officer for Baltimore. So, yeah, Juke. But she got Detective Garcia on the take. She's trying to tell Kanan, hey, it wasn't Rock's cops who shot Famous. And before she could say, we think it was Detective Howard, Kanan gets a phone call. Hold that thought. In between then, Rock and Marv get together, and Rock pretty much tells Marv, yo, we need to see what Kanan is saying. This is coming off the conversation of Bernardi asking her, dog, is you a good mom or not? Like, what's up? So she ends up getting with Marv later on, like, we need to grab one of Kanan's bike messengers, because he still got the bike messengers and stuff like that, running the streets, running from borough to borough, serving people. So the phone call that Kanan gets when Juke is sitting there trying to tell him that it wasn't the cops, or it wasn't Rock's cops that she had in her pocket who killed Famous, Kanan got a phone call pretty much telling him, yo, one of the messengers got swiped. He's like, how bad is it? I guess whoever's on the other end of the phone tells him it's bad. And the way Marvin got him, I mean, you see the boy riding along on his moped, and boom, Marvin runs right into him with a car. So by the time they see the moped in the street, it probably looks horrible. So Kanan gets that phone call. It starts switching back between Kanan and Juke and Marvin Rock. So it switches to Marvin Rock. Marvin Rock is torturing the daggone messenger. Rock is asking him, what is Kanan saying about me? He's like, nothing. He don't say nothing about you. Rock is like, hit him again. Boom. What is this? Oh, nothing. Boom. Hit him again. They torture him, ask him questions. He ain't got no damn answers because he don't know nothing. Finally, Marvin's like, Rock, no, let's stop this. This kid don't know nothing. We got to stop this. Kanan is in Queens. We got Manhattan on lock. Why are we doing this? Rock turns around, pop, 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 shoots the messenger. Now, they already got him tied in the chair. She shoots and kills him and was like, you know what? You know why we worried about Kanan? Because Kanan killed Lou. Child, the look on Marvin's face. Marvin made a face I ain't never seen him make. I had to rewind back and was like, what is that? Like, the face looked crazy. Like, what is that face? But he's stuck. He's like, yeah, Kanan killed our brother. So boom, you already know. From the gate, from the time Marvin found out that Lou was killed, he had it out like, we gonna get this nigga. Neek did it, this and that. So of course, Kanan is not exempt to Marvin's wrath over his brother dying. So you see, it goes back to Juke and Kanan at Kanan's apartment. And Kanan's getting dressed, getting ready to go out and I guess meet with his people and figure out, what's happening with the messenger guy who got pretty much into an accident and nobody can find him. And before he can do that, Juke is still trying to tell him, but you hear boom, 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 boom. Marvin at the door. It's Marvin. So Kanan's coming to the door. At first he was coming to the door with a gun in his hand. He still had the gun in his hand, but he relaxed a little bit because he's like, it's Marvin, even though Marvin is boom, boom, booming at his door. He like, they like, both of them kind of like rolled their eyes a little bit like, oh, it's just Marv. She's like, it's her dad. So she's like, oh, it's just my dad. He's probably bugging again about God knows what. Child, Kanan opened that door. Marvin instantly was on his ass. Do you hear me? Marvin started beating the crap out of Kanan. He was beating the crap out of Kanan. Pop, pop, uppercut. He slammed him in the wall. You see the hole and cracks in the wall. He's walking Kanan through the house. Walking him through the house. Pop, pop, bop, 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 bop. Walking him through the house. Busted him through a glass table. Whole time, Juke, Dad, stop, Dad, stop, Dad. She finally, he doesn't slow down. He's beating him, but she finally kind of grabs her dad, and her dad grabs her because Kanan's down. He's kind of knocked out, so he knows he's not going to be able to get back up and try to fight him back. He grabs Juke and was like, Kanan killed Lou. Your cousin killed your uncle. So Juke is in shock. He goes back to beating up Kanan. Talking to him, I don't, well, y'all might not know, but sometimes when kids get beaten, I know back in my day, back in the 80s when kids would get beaten, we would get whipped and our parents would be telling a story, talking us through the ass whipping. That's pretty much what Marvin was doing with Kanan. He talked them through that ass whipping, honey. And he was like, your daddy, your mom and dad didn't do a good job, and this is why you like this, and guess what? We killed the messenger bull and you next. Pulled a gun on him, was about to shoot and kill Kanan. Before he could do that, Juke kind of like, Dad, come on, we gotta go. Rushes him off. So Juke and Marvin go off and Kanan just still laying on the ground. And all you could hear is adult Kanan. Look, 50 Cent voice talking about, you don't never forget an ass whipping. You don't never forget an ass whipping like that. And pretty much at the end of, his little voiceover, he was pretty much like, he's going to get revenge. So, look, y'all, that's the end of my recap. It's a lot brewing on the horizon. I do need to let y'all know, this coming Friday the 17th, there will be no episode of Raising Kanan. The next Raising Kanan will not be airing on Stars until Friday, July 24th. Okay, so we are about to get a week off, so that gives you time to go back and catch up on some episodes. Hell, it gives you time to go start the original Power. Shit, I talk about it so much. But man, whew, tell me what y'all think. What y'all think is going to happen next? Now, we know that Juke, Jarita, and Kanan is going to survive. We know that Breeze is going to survive for now. But who's next? Do y'all think before the end of the series that Rock is gonna die? Do y'all think that Marvin is gonna find Judas, or not Judas, find Judaism, or find his God, or who he want to worship, and end up dead? What do y'all think is going to happen? Talk to me in the comments. And don't forget to like the video, please. I really, really appreciate everything that you guys are doing to support this channel. And I hope that y'all have a great week. All right, until next time.